Taoist Magic Talk Show brought to you by Taoist Master 鸡师傅 and 天日 Dragon Taoism ผู้亮天尊 Welcome back to the show. This is your 鸡师傅 right here. Welcome back here to another exciting episode, and this series of podcast is getting hot. People are commenting and I'm getting new ideas and new suggestions. So this episode will be talking about energy vampires, or some people call it the Chi Empire, or vampire, not empire, vampire, like the blood sucking thing. Okay. So this term is actually more like an invented term that people use these days. It's not like a real traditional term, but I get what you mean, okay? Like people who actually goes around and sucks up energies from people, things, place, and so on, okay? So how did it happen? How does it work? And how do you spot them? What do you do when you face these kind of situation, or if you have a friend or someone who is like that, what can you do about it, and so on? Okay, so we're going to dig into this topic in a very professional way, okay? But I'm trying to get it simple because I want to, explain it from pretty much like from the 0 point so that you can understand it, even you're not so educated in this topic. So, first of all, there's no vampire, as in vampire. What am I saying? There's no vampire, like in the movies, that kind of vampire. Okay, so if you think that some dead people, corpse are jumping around, biting you, sucking your blood and things like that, okay, that's not it, okay? That's purely in the movie. It's not real. However, the energy vampire that we're talking about is like they're a real human being, they're alive, and somehow they like to go around people, places, and wherever they stick, the people there will get like tired, down, like the mood goes down, depressed, or maybe even like the business will go cold. It just seems like they are ice, and wherever they go, the heat just goes down, right? And this is like, it could be intentional, or it could be even unintentional, and it could even be involving some other things that is like outside the human world. So first of all, we're going to talk about just the human being. How can this happen? First of all, we talk about the energy vampire, right? Vampire. I said it right. Okay. Vampire. Okay. We're talking about energy vampire. First of all, we don't eat battery, right? So the energy that we're talking about here, that is like the energy inside our body, is not like the energy in your phone. We don't need like USB cable, plugged to our butt and then charge us up. Right? It's not like that kind of energy, right? So what kind of energy are we talking about? Well, you see, if I ask you, how are you feeling today? How's your energy? And you're like, yeah, I'm okay. I feel great. You know what you're talking about, right? Are you or are you not? Are you sure what you're talking about when you say your energy level is good? Your energy is doing good. What is the energy? How do you measure it? Right? Like, do you have a watch that tells you your energy level now is 86? It's not like that, right? We all know. We just know. we just know, right? Our energy is doing great. Yeah. What does it feel like? Energy, when it's doing great, when it's good, it feels like, yeah, I can do many things. It feels like you have battery inside. You can do more things. Okay? So what's the opposite of low energy? Like as if you eat battery, okay? Well, you're low battery now. So you're slower. It's like I'm walking slower. I'm thinking slower. And also, most importantly, is I don't want to do anything. I want to just sit and get a recharge. Yeah, that's funny, huh? There was a there was a time where when like my local temple, like my temple locally here in Markham back then, we were like renovating and painting the wall and all that. And well, me and my wife were doing it ourselves, so it was horrible. But you know, we gotta save money, right? So we start painting the wall, and it takes so many days. And you know what? When you like every day you're painting, it feels like you get so numb. You know, it's like your mental state goes into another kind of state. It feels so numb. It feels like you get like. It feels almost like you're in a nightmare, you know? You're like non-stop repeating the same action of painting, and then painting. And then, well, at the night, it's like, I can't do it. You know, it's like too much. And then you feel like you want to sit down and just not do anything, right? So it feels like you have battery inside. And if you still have that battery, you can still paint. And then we were joking around and saying, okay, this is our charging station, and we point to the sofa. Okay, we have a little sofa right there. So whoever, you know, we're gonna like paint 10 minutes or 12 minutes or something, and then we're gonna sit here and charge. You know, charge for how long, and then we time ourselves and we get back up. And that thing actually worked. So we put ourselves on a wireless charger, and then we like sleep there. We just sit there. It works. You know, you just let your body rest, and somehow it just energy builds up again. And then you go like, good, I can paint again. And then you keep going, right? And if you don't do that and you just keep moving your hand, well, yeah, you can, but you feel very exhausted. And to a point, you will collapse, right? And what do I mean by collapse? Well, you want to like maybe you pass out, or you just like flip, snap, you know, emotionally go crazy, burst, things like that. So this energy is very important, and you don't need anyone to teach you how to feel the energy. It's natural. We all know how to do it. No matter what religion, what race, what color you are, you all know how to measure your energy. And let me tell you, to measure that energy, get rid of science. You don't need science. All you need is the most basic thing you have when you're born, which is the feeling. You just need to feel. Do you have enough? Well, you ask yourself, okay? Let's say, okay, now we're going to walk maybe 20 minutes to the shop, and then we're going to eat there. And then you ask yourself, do I have energy to do that? Very simple. The answer comes back right away. Yes or no. Nah. Why? I don't want to move, right? You don't want to. The energy is rooted to that thing that creates the feeling of want or not want. When you don't want, you know that, hey, I don't have enough energy. It's like your system is beeping. It's giving you that warning. Low battery, you know? And then if you keep going, well, you can still keep going, right? You can force yourself to do it, but it just feels horrible. You know, you don't feel happy. Oh, it links to happiness. Yes, it does, okay? So you don't feel happy. You feel like you're being forced. And then when you go there, your body will maybe like go like, you know, snap on you. Or maybe it just feel like dreadful, you know, time goes so slow and things like that, right? The experience is so bad, right? So if you listen to your body and you stay there and not go, well, you often feel better, feel less horrible. That, you see, it's linked to what? It's linked to this thing inside you that creates a feeling, right? So what is that thing? That is your heart, your energy heart, not the organ, okay? It's the energy heart. If you put your fingertip on your nipples. Okay, and then both nipples. And then you move toward the center and meet up at the center. This point we call the center of the heart. This is the center point where your heart is. And this is where your energy heart is. Okay? Energy heart, not the organ. Okay? This heart is what generates your emotion, your feeling, and like the yes or no, that they're making the decision, that power is all there. This is your life battery that locally sticks to your body. But it's like a Photoshop image with different layers. You know, your body is one layer, right? And then you have the organ inside and so on, right? You cannot see the organ. You can see the body, the outside. But if you open up the body, you can see the organ, right? So imagine this kind of layer. But this heart is in another layer that is like beyond these physical elements. It's at the same location with your body, but it's in another dimension, in another layer. Okay? This thing, this heart right there, it's very important. Because if the heart fail, this heart fail, you will die. This is like the battery and also the center power with your body that controls everything. If this is down, you're done. You're dead. Okay? So this is actually kind of like your organ, the heart. When it failed, the whole body failed. And then it just, boom, game over. So we just have to feel, right? We feel and we ask ourselves, what is the ourself? How can you ask yourself? Well, you kind of think about it inside, right? Yeah. So you ask yourself, who is that yourself? That yourself is actually you're asking the heart. When you talk to the inside of yourself, that's the heart. You ask yourself. Ask yourself, do I want to do that or not? Huh? You want to go? Like that. You want, then you have enough juice to do it. You don't want, you don't have enough juice to do it. That's simple, right? This is the energy from the heart. It tells you, do I have enough or not enough? So, you see, it's very simple, right? Now, one thing is, this is not it. This is the beginning, the 101 lesson. This is the first thing that I'm going to talk about, which is your heart energy. It is the energy of life that is inside your body. However, this thing is like the first stage only. We talk about the layer, right? This is like the deepest layer, the most like under layer. Okay, layer number 1. You got the heart and you have your energy body. And when you like kind of move up the layer, there's another layer that overlaps the whole body. That is your soul. Your soul body is one more layer. We call that layer number 6, okay? So this layer, your soul body, has a bunch of energies, okay? Well, this energy is not like battery kind of energy. It looks like if you exist in that dimension, the energy state look like a bunch of cloud, okay? Like clouds. And it's like cloud shape, like fog, cloud, that kind of thing. And one thing that you need to understand is in that dimension, it's not like in this dimension where we are solid. Light from outside project to us, like, and our body kind of bounce it off so we can be seen. Like light goes on our body and our body is solid, right? So if you like, let's say you turn off all the lights and you're in a dark room, your body don't glow, right? Because you need a light source bounce on your body for your body to be visible, right? However, in this dimension, the spiritual or the soul dimension, it's kind of like an opposite. The matters there glows. It self-illuminate. Illuminate. Okay? They glow. So there's no light around in that dimension. But you glow. Things glow. If they exist in that world, they glow. Your soul body is composed of what we call three things. One is the soul's essence, or kind of like they're like particles. Okay? The particles, when they grouped up, it forms the soul energy, which is like which they look like cloud. Okay? So more particles together, they form a cloud. In the same size of the cloud, okay, same size, but more particles, it's like it gets more dense inside. It's stronger inside, right? But if you have like a larger area with the same amount of particle, then the particle spreads out. It becomes not as dense. It's kind of like a flashlight. You know, when you see the flashlight, shine it against the wall, shine it on the wall, right? There's always this hot spot in the middle. The light is more like condensed, more bright in the middle, right? And then when you go to the more like to the edge, it looks like it's kind of not as bright, not as dense, just like that, okay? So you can also imagine flashlight. Some flashlight, it's like very, very focused beam. It beams far away. It's bright and hot in one spot. Some flashlight, they are like not very far, but like they kind of spread out, like a floodlight, you know, it spreads out. So it doesn't look like everything is so hot and bright, but it's like shines everywhere, right? It's not as condensed, not as focused. Your soul energy is like that too. So depending on your soul body's condition, your soul body can be more condensed or can be not as condensed. When it's condensed, it looks like it's more vivid and solid in that dimension. When it's not condensed, it looks like foggy, hazy, more like, you know, like not as solid like that. Okay, when there are more particles inside that soul body, it creates more energy, more power inside. Then it gives birth to what we call the soul's light. The light is like the light that glows from that energy. And because it glows, you have to kind of imagine we're not talking about glowing as in like how a light bulb will glow. I'm talking about like how your monitor glows. So if you look at your monitor right now, it doesn't look like, oh, it's glowing. It's like, I can't look at it. It's not like that kind of like, you know, it's not like the light kind of keep shining out and blind your eyes, that kind of glow. It just glow and then you can see stuff. Okay, that's what I mean. So imagine the you in the soul dimension, okay, in this dimension 6. If you're in there and your soul body is healthy, your soul body will not look like a cloud. You will look like what you are. You will look like you in that dimension. You don't look like a piece of cloud. You look like a you in that dimension. Exactly. But instead of a 3D you like here, you look like a you on the monitor. You know, like someone appeared on the monitor, right? And the more healthy you are, the more HD you are. You know, like more high definition you are. That's how it is. And it's not like you're flat, of course, okay? In that dimension, you are not flat. But it looks like, you know, more like appearing on the monitor, that kind of feeling. Okay, it's because you glow. You do not need any light from the surrounding to make you appear. It's your soul energy that makes you appear. Okay? So talking about that, if you like think about ghosts and things like that, right? Or spirit, they're all like that. So ghosts and spirits, they do not get affected by sunlight here. They self-illuminate. The one thing is when I listen to people talking about their like, oh, I see a ghost and things like that, and I ask them some details, and then when I say like, hey, that doesn't make sense, and that's not how a ghost is like, then immediately I know they're not seeing real ghosts. Because real ghosts, they glow. They have their own light. You don't need any light source to appear. They just glow in their own colors. Anyway, so that's a side dish. Why do we get into all that like soul energy? Well, because we are talking about our energy vampire, right? We got to know what energy are we talking about in order to understand what they are stealing from us, right? What are we dealing with here? It's the soul energy that gets sucked away. The soul energy is not one thing. There are 3 different properties or different kinds of soul essence or soul particles. One is neutral, one is negative, and one is positive. Your neutral souls, okay, like the particles, okay, those little dots. Okay, so the neutral ones, they help you to feel alive. So when you have enough of that, the soul, neutral soul, you feel focused in life. You kind of know what you're supposed to do, what you're doing, and you feel the purpose of life, and you want to keep going. And it feels like, you know, you got a meaning today. You know what you're going to do. And if you're not doing good, it feels like, I don't know what I'm doing. You know, I feel like I don't want to live here anymore. It's like there's no point in life. And sometimes like if you don't sleep for a few days, you do feel like that, you know, feel like you're just wandering around like, oh, what am I doing? You know, like that, right? That is when your neutral soul is very weak. You'll feel like wandering around like a ghost. So your negative soul is also very useful. Negative soul helps you to think. Okay, it helps you to think, process information, and it helps you to absorb things as well. Absorbing, like remembering things, right? Remembering the stuff that you want to remember. Remembering your the road back home. Remembering your phone number. You know, things like that. Okay, and if your negative soul is good, you have good thinking power. Thinking power doesn't mean you're smarter. It just means that you think more. Okay? But some people, they don't even think, right? So is it a good or bad thing? Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, right? It depends. It's just that the fact is you will think when your negative soul is working. And if you have too much of this, what happens is you will be one of those people who like overthink things. Always overthinking people's speech. Like when people say something, you overanalyze it. And then it becomes like they don't even mean that, and you're like making things up already, you know? That happens all the time with a lot of people. Some people, they like just think and don't do. You know, you just keep thinking about it, and then after like 2 months, you still didn't take any action. Thinking too much is also not good. Okay, the last one is the positive soul. It helps you to physically move. The physical includes your organ. So how your organ have that power to move, like pumping the heart, pumping the blood, moving liquids around, you know, things like that. That is your positive soul energy doing its work. When the positive soul energy keeps going up and up and up and up and too much, it's like you got too much positive energy in you. You might think, oh, I'm so positive, it must be good. No. You know what? You could be doing too much. For example, some people cannot stop talking. They keep go on and on like a machine gun. And it annoys people, right? That is because they have too much positive soul. You're too positive. Shut up. Sometimes kids have too much positive energy, and they will go around and jump and will like mess things up and cause like a chaos, and they still don't stop. And then you're like, what am I gonna do? Oh my God, he's like, causing such a big mess all the time. Well, that's because you have too much soul energy that is positive. So too many, too little is not good. You need a balance point to be healthy. Okay, so these are the 3 types of the soul energy. And it's not like you got 3 basketball. It's more like you got 1 big tank of water, and inside the water there are 3 different kinds of elements that mixes to form the water. Okay, it's more like that. So it's very hard to, like, it's even impossible. It's kind of like you want to count how many hair you have on your body. It's impossible. Or like how many blood cells I have. It's crazy to even do that. You don't need to do that. You just observe yourself, and you can tell how you're doing. Okay? Let's say you want to use your brain, right? You want to think about things. And then you suddenly feel, I'm tired. I don't want to think about it. Then your negative energy is not strong enough to do that. You see? Or maybe like someone asks you, hey, let's do this together. And then you're like, I don't feel like I want to move. Then it means your positive energy is not enough for that. Right? So simple. Sometimes the positive and negative also links to the neutral as a part of the reason. Like someone tells you, hey, let's play tennis together. And I don't really think I have energy for that. It feels like your body is lacking the positive soul, right? But actually not. It's some of that might be due to the fact that you don't want or you don't like playing tennis. So the neutral soul is also kind of giving you a direction and saying, no, that's not a good direction, because I don't like that. So your 3 soul work together and gives you all these feelings inside. So what happened when energy vampire is around and sucks up your energy, and well, you feel tired, right? Okay, you feel tired. What does that mean? That means your body, your physical body, it's kind of going low in power. It sucks up your positive soul energy. Okay, you see, your positive soul energy goes down, you feel tired. Your body cannot function as well as like you used to be, because that energy that keeps your body moving and pumping, it's low. That part got sucked up. Now you got to kind of think of it this way, okay? We have a ball. In the very, very center of that ball, that sphere, is the neutral soul, more neutral. And then in the inside of the ball, that's like the negative, more negative stuff inside, okay? And then on the surface or the wall of the ball is like, those are where the positive energies are. If energy vampires are around, they usually suck up the surface of that stuff, which is why they get the positive energy away first, because that's what's on the surface. If you get sucked up more than that, like their power penetrates you even more, then they suck up your ability to think as well. So your thinking power goes down, your mental state feels exhausted, and things like that. So you see, how can people just like, you want to suck up someone, then you can suck up their energy? How do you even do that? Like, how can people be doing that so naturally? Right? No one teach them anything. How can they be doing it? Okay, so here is one thing that you need to understand. The soul energy is one thing, but there is also one more thing that is called evil energy. They're like dirty stuff, okay? Dirty stuff. When someone is very dirty, like very evil, very like full of dirty energy, bad energy, harmful energy. There's kind of like you're carrying germs, but in the soul, in the soul body. Okay, you're carrying those germs around. When you have these germs, you will be like walking around, and these things are like they're like little monster. They want to eat up things around you because after they eat you, they will eat the other things around you. And that is why these so-called vampires always sucks up people's energy really quickly without even like trying, because they have those crap on them. Where do they get these crap? Where do they get these germs, the spiritual germs? Where do they get these things? Well, there are different ways. Okay? One way is that they have been around or absorbing others, people, negative energy. For example, let's say you, okay? You are the bad guy. So you, let's say you always go around people who are venting their angers. When people are venting their angers, their energy, their unhappy or angry energy, those energy inside that carries that emotion, it comes out. You're around, you listen, you absorb some of it. Okay? You stick around these people and you will absorb their energy. And at first stage, these energy stays on the surface of your soul. And slowly, they might eat and penetrate into the deeper layer and then start to affect you more and more in the deeper side. So now you have these energies on the surface of you. You go around different people. Hey, these energies are like, they're like little monsters. They want to eat you, but wow, there are other people around. Let's eat them as well. Oh my, yeah. So it's like you catch some kind of virus. It's supposed to make you sick. You go around, you make others sick as well. That's basically what happened. Okay? That's what happened. Another common way of getting this kind of problem is people visit or went to funerals. Funerals are full of crap, especially the more religious one, because people like who do these things often are like, they don't know what they're doing. Like, they know what they're doing as like they know how to do a funeral, but the thing is they don't see what's actually going on. And the energy that is being vented off the dead person will spread around. That includes all the bad stuff that they have accumulated before they die and cannot clear out of the body yet. And there's a lot of stuff. So all these things will go to people who are related to them, especially their friends and family, or even those who attend the funeral. We often call these like after-death energy pollution, AEP. That's like one term that I created because it's so common. Okay, whenever people say, "Oh, some my whoever died," tons of AEP. These things stick around on your surface. It will affect you because those are very negative stuff. It will eat up your positive soul. It will make you tired. It will make you not want to do things. And then eventually when it penetrates like deep enough, it affects your negative side. So it makes you like think weird and they have weird thoughts and things like that. And it distort your logic and so on. And of course, you carry that stuff around. It's going to stick onto people who you interact with as well. So, yeah. It's not good, right? And then, you know what? Even worse. There's more. There's more, okay? You want the more like crazy ones? Well, people who go to religious place, like temples and such, and guess what? A lot of them are full of evil stuff out there. Okay, no joke. And then you pick up those stuff and then you carry them home and you spread them around. Or it could be maybe like someone who hates you. They did evil magic or hire people to do evil magic on you. Those magic power also consider as like those evil stuff. They stick on your body, your soul body, and then you walk around and you spread them around. You see, it's like so common because like in this world, it's like you go out there, go on the subway, tons of people are doing that. They're spreading out spiritual crap around without even realizing. The more you stick to like people, in the public transit and things like that, right? Tons of stuff. And it becomes a common thing, a very common thing to be polluted. So what to do about it? Well, yeah, it becomes like part of your life already. It feels so normal. It feels so normal to be tired all the time. It feels so normal to be like, you take the bus, go to work, and then you feel like shit. It feels so normal, and then, it becomes like a normal city life. But it's actually not normal. And then some people are like, oh, you know what? I went to the nature. I go camping for like a few weeks, and I feel so good. It feels like I'm so fresh and not like contaminated. You're right. Because it's not because like you just need to go back to nature. It's because the place that you go to and everything that you interact with every day is full of crap. And you as a normal person have no way to clean up. You go outside, there are dust, smoke, all kinds of physical pollution. You come back, you take a bath, right? You wash your face, wash your hand, you're good. Those are physical pollution. But what about the spiritual pollution? The pollution in your soul body. You cannot detox that. You cannot cleanse that because no one care about that. No one actually deal with that much yet. Maybe it's because our society right now is actually downgrading. If you ever think about it, in the old days when there are less technology, people's life is kind of like slower. They will spend time doing things that clears their mind. For example, you can imagine in the ancient time, people will be like, let's burn some incense so the smell fills up the place, build up the mood, and then we play some music or whatever shit, and then they were like, okay, let's make tea or something, and then we just spend like a whole hour doing like a few cups of tea, just like slowly doing this and that, and then maybe calligraphy or whatever, right? They do that kind of thing to free their mind from the surrounding. And while they're doing that, they're actually letting their energy release, not relax, but release to other things that they create or interact with. You draw, you maybe do other things, like do something that lets you vent out your emotion, your energy, your feelings. That is a way that people naturally will do to kind of like give their soul fragments a little refresh. But it is not effective all the time. Because we talked about there are natural pollution where like, oh, I know, you talk to people and they always vent and you get their pollution. Those like normal stuff, right? But when you get the high power stuff, like evil magic, religious power, well, no matter how many tea you make, you're going to die anyway. That's like, there's no match for it. It's not even the right level, It's like you're going to war with a Nerf gun. It's not possible, right? So it's just like you're done, okay? No matter how many calligraphy you do, whatever music you do, you're done. When you get hit by those stuff, you're done, okay? You have no way to fight that. So normal people in the ancient time, when they care more about their spiritual health, they will do that kind of thing. It works, but it's not really the most effective way. What is the more effective way? Well, that's why we have magic. Right? When you use magic power to cleanse your soul body, you use what we call a cultivated pre-heaven energy, a cultivated higher power that can override these things quickly and effectively. Like you do a spell and some stuff and then ding, it's like gone, right? That's much more effective. Imagine like you got the pollution now and you cleanse it out right now, right? It's like 5 minutes within, or maybe like 2 minutes and you're done. Instead of like, it's 1 hour, making the tea and then drawing calligraphy. That's crazy, right? So it's not that in the ancient time they're better. It's just that they know and is more aware of their spiritual health. And right now, people are kind of like numb because of, the education system and no one really talks about it. Yeah, like that, right? Some people, these days, they're like, yeah, we do yoga, we do some meditation. You know what? I tell you what, that is like going back to the ancient time. And it's not going to work when you face the high level stuff. When people are like giving you high level attacks with these things, is your whatever meditation, you're done. There's no way to fight it. You need the higher power to fight that, right? So you need magic, higher power, higher dimensions power to fight these things off, to cleanse it off. And that's how you can deal with these things. So now we know energy vampire can be like someone who unintentionally be like just sucking up your energy because they have picked up a lot of negative stuff. Or it could be like evil magic, like intentional stuff. But it all goes back to one thing. If you want to take care of your soul, of your spiritual health, you need a higher source of power to protect you and help you fight off these things. You are not born to fight it naturally. It's not possible. As part of life, it is a normal thing to be bullied by these pollution. It's normal. Everyone get bullied by it. You cannot deal with it. And that is why there is a higher source of power, which we call magic power. You need this power to fight these things. Because other people who are killing you with like evil magic and such, when they are like trying to suck up your soul or whatever, they are using those higher voltage power. They are not using like, let me, spend 1 hour, draw some calligraphy and kill you. It's not like that, right? They go to their source of power. It could be like they go to their altar and ask their God to kick your butt. So their God is in a higher dimension. They use their energy to kick your butt, and you are trying to use your human low frequency dimension power to kick their butt. It's kind of like using a Nerf gun to fight someone with a real gun, right? It's impossible. So don't be fooled to believe that you can be like, doing some meditation and cleanse your mind. It's wasting your time. It's like you're using a very dumb method to do something that you could be using a much faster and more effective and more powerful way to deal with. Okay, so this is the thing. To deal with energy vampire, no matter unintentional or intentional, you need to use that magic power. You need a source of power. Well, everyone have different ways of like they want to go. So if you want to go my way and you want to ask me what I will do, of course, you see, I'm a Taoist master, right? So if you enter our lineage, you become a disciple and you're connected to our source of power, which you can call it the Tao, but it's like that's a general term. So you have a source of power now, then you learn the method to ask that source of power for help or withdraw the power to use them for different purposes, such as cleansing, purifying, protecting yourself, building a wall to like wall up yourself, to not let that stuff go into you. You can do all these things with the methods. And what are these methods? They are the Taoist magic. That's what we call Taoist magic, right? It's funny because in the West, a lot of the non-Chinese, they kind of believe that religious Taoism is one thing, and then there's like this philosophy Taoism, and I say it all the time. It's not like that. Taoism is always a religion, and philosophy is only a part of it. Taoist magic is how you apply the whole power into things in life. It's the application, right? It's like you say martial art is just a philosophy. You are BSing. Martial art contains philosophy, but it also has the fighting part that you actually fight. Taoist magic is like the actual fighting part. It's the practical part. It's the using part. If you're missing out that one, your Taoism is nothing but garbage. Because it's like you'd say you know how to cook and you know food, but you never cook in your life. You only talk about food, but you never touch the cooking station. That's not even like close to being a chef, right? Now you know what is real Taoism. Taoism, it has both the theory part and also it has the application part that allows you to actually use that power. And you will see the effect when you use it. When you experiment with it in life, you feel this, you use the power, it works, it helps you clear out the stuff right away. There's no wait time, there's no guessing. You just feel that problem, then you use the magic, problem is gone. Like you feel very irritated, very emotional. You do the magic, feeling is gone right away, just like that. So that's how you deal with these energy vampires. Okay, so time's up. We'll see you in the next episode. And thanks for listening and watching. So stay tuned for the next episode. Remember to go to our website, www.teenagedragon.com, and welcome to Ordain and learn Taoist magic right away. Bye-bye.